really good exercise that I think you should try is to think about your childhood. And I know this is really random, like so random to think about, but I've actually seen a lot of benefits from reminiscing about my childhood. And what I'm saying is, don't just like reminisce about your childhood to reminisce. I'm saying think about how your childhood has affected you. You see, everyone's childhood has pretty much been different. Some people had really bad childhoods, some people had pretty good ones, some people had okay ones, some people had average ones, some people had above average. I mean, it's mostly based on your own personal perspective, but generally speaking, our childhoods have affected us in many, many different ways. And your childhood more than likely has created the current you or the way you see certain things. For example, the way you are attached to people. Maybe because of your childhood. That's why people say stuff like daddy issues, mommy issues, all these different things, because as we grow up, if we didn't get certain things in our childhood, or we got too much of certain things, or we got too little of certain things, it then creates these interesting habits that we have when we're much older. And the really cool thing about your childhood too, is your childhood is what usually created the things that really inspire and or motivate you. And if you're a young guy who wants to become his best self, it's important that you're able to analyze what happened before the current you. Because the better you are able to think about your childhood and the different things that affected you and pushed you in different directions and question why you like certain things, the more you can align your current life as well as your future life with things that are going to be better suited for your success. Because ultimately, when it comes to success for especially us as individuals, it's about aligning ourselves with the things that we value most, right? Because that's how you stay authentically you, by aligning yourself with the things that you align with the most. And that's why looking back at your childhood is so important, because your childhood is what started the alignment. Your childhood is what started the motivation, the inspiration, the fear, the pain, the reason why you like certain things and don't like certain things. So the better you are able to question how did these certain events in my childhood affect me? Why do I like the things that I like now? Why do I like the career that I like now? Why do I like the shows that I watch now? Why am I interested in this type of genre? I know it seems kind of random, but it's like all these different questions you could ask yourself all can really relate back to your childhood. You'll realize, like, yeah, I used to always like this certain thing. You know, a good way for y'all to even better understand this is, I'll say, from my childhood. So growing up, I watched a lot of anime. Like, I was watching a ton of anime, and the first anime I ever watched was Naruto. I also saw Dragon Ball Z, and I saw a little bit of this one anime called Inuyasha. Maybe some of y'all would know it. Maybe some of y'all don't watch anime at all. But obviously, you can go look up Naruto to kind of see what I'm talking about, right? And basically, what ended up happening, watching Naruto inspired me or motivated me to become pretty much who I am today. And it actually made me a pretty motivated and inspired kid since I'd been really young, because watching this show, I just connected with it on so much, on like so many levels. And like because of that, you know, it had an effect on who like grew up into. You know, one of Naruto's main things, like something they used to say, was just talking about like never giving up, and another character in Naruto named Rock Lee was talking about never giving up and always working hard. And because I saw that when I was a kid, that always taught me, like, throughout my life. I remember in middle school, I was saying shit like, "Hey, Dad, man, we can't give up, man. Don't ever give up, man. We always gotta work hard. Always have a good work. Always gotta have a good work ethic and all that kind of stuff." Because of what happened in my childhood, like, I connected so much with this thing in my childhood that it just increased and increased and increased, and I guess matured into pretty much who I am today. So that's kind of an example of what I mean and what you guys should kind of do. So kind of look back at your childhood and look at the different experiences that you had that led you to become who you are, and then start to make sure that you're aligning yourself currently and your future self with those things in order to pretty much live your best life possible, because the more you are aligned with who you truly are, the better your life can be.